If I'm talking here, can you hear me or no? A little bit. Okay. As soon as you hear me start saying something, that's when you'll be live, okay? And then whenever you're not live, I'll come over here and let you know, okay? Okay, thank you. So I owe you so much. Like, it's actually crazy. Thank you. And Mike, sit down there, right? Sorry? Mike, sit down there. Mike, sit down here. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So like when it got cloudy there, yeah. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Check one. And we are live. And welcome to Burnaby Lake Park on the traditional ancestry and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. Today you're watching Misfit Cup presented by Vancouver Ultimate. Here we have the women's finals. We have Canyon in the orange and Dino in the dark. These two teams have faced off quite a bit within this Misfit Cup and through their nationals, and past 3 years these two teams have been going at it. In 2022 they did not exist, but in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, they fought in the finals. Dino coming up on top. 2024, Dino coming up on top. And then 2025, if I'm not mistaken, was the first year that Canyon won that finals. And both teams, unfortunately, do not have the greatest performance at nationals. But nevertheless, this is a new year, and we're going to see how this one goes out today. To start off, it's going to be Canyon with the pull, Dino receiving. I'm curious to see what type of defense and offense both teams are going to play. This is my first time seeing both teams, or at least Canyon in action. I witnessed Dino play in the semifinals, and opening pull is about to come up. Here comes Canyon. And there's the pull. Dino receiving. Stopping the pull. Centering it to Bell. Looking for our options. Dino elects with a horizontal. Going for a reset. Bell to Bell. Looking for the break side. Nothing there. Back to the middle. Getting something going on in the middle here. Trying to get some give and go action, but gets stopped up at the Canyon defender. Dino working it up on both sides. Not really electing on going to one side or the other. Finding the middle quite well. Just working it up the field slow and steady. With patience is the biggest thing here. And Dino getting a reset and working it through the break side. Bell looking around. Dino getting into their end zone set. Not finding what they're looking for. Finds it there. And just right through the fingertips. And this gives Canyon the chance to come out with a break on the first point. Canyon taking their time, setting up what seems to be a horizontal. Disc is in the middle. Finds inside in a poach block by the Dino defender number 8. And Bell to Bell. Looking for this end zone, trying to punch it in. And there it is. 1-0 Dino. And as we can see here, it was just the Bell twins just going at it together on to the end zone, making it work. And that makes it 1-0 for Dino. And that's a hold by Dino. That is what they were looking for. There was a turnover, so you could call that a dirty hold, but nevertheless, still a hold. Hold is a hold. Now we need Canyon to respond here with a hold of their own. The wind has slightly died out. Trees are still moving in the background though. But down here in the broadcast booth, we don't feel the wind that much at the moment. And Dino getting ready for the pull here. Coaches are talking out there. I think that's Danae Jan, if I'm not mistaken, coaching this defensive line at the moment. Kenyon is ready for the disc. Kaylee sending to McNair. Gets a nice open under. Edge will floaty throw, but well defended, but there's a call. Looks like there's going to be a foul call. Edgel saying that 16 hit her hand on the way. And I think it's retracted. So Dino now gets the chance to get a break. Get their lead up to 2-0. 5 with a disc on the near side. Get to the 19. Oh, travel call before. Travel uncontested. And disc is in. Still looking at the open side. Good fakes. Gets a nice inside shot. Number 7 with the disc. Looking for a reset now. Good up line. Power position, nothing there. Vines with the disc. Looking for a reset. Gets the upline again. Now looking for the end zone. And now front corner. Looking for something, and that is just open side upline, upline, upline. And Dino gets it to 2. And that's a break from Dino. As we can see that upline there, it just, that front cone was unprotected. And Dino with a break. Canyon needs to get something together. If I'm wondering what the coaches are saying to Canyon, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it was just a unfortunate throw turnover on a upline, or an undercut actually. And now they just have to figure it out. And Dino trying to get a third in a row would be big. Just starting off this match, we started 5 minutes late before the horn went off, but only 10 minutes in, and let's see how this goes. Canyon with the disc, Couple passes back and forth. Looking for something. Nice under, slash across. Striking deep. And a good grab, almost a D. Looking for something. It's hot. Stall count is rising. Gets a bail-off. Up the line. Number 6. Nothing on the open side. Looking at the reset. And inside shot just to number 10, the defender. Dino looking for quick transition. Huck goes up. And it is caught by 21. On the doorstep. Little ISO trying to get that to go. They're going to recollect and make sure they can punch this in. Lefty high release, and just a bit too far. Canyon gets another opportunity to get this hold. And I like what I saw from Dino there, just after the turnover, trying to get something going. When you have this momentum going, might as well keep it going. And a Huck, and just gets tipped out. And unfortunately incomplete. Maybe a call? No. No call on this one. Dino with another chance to come with this break. Haley picking up. Number 4. Looking deep. No defender. Nice floating around. And it's caught. Dino with the 3rd goal in a row. That's 2 breaks and a hold. And what a throw. Again, that's that transition again. Just picking it up and throwing it up. I mean, in these wins and these conditions, this is might as well. If it's working, it's working. And I think Canyon has decided to call a timeout. Makes sense. I think that's a good call. Try to regroup your team. Make sure everyone's on the same page and let them know that this is a game. This is the finals. We need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can. Dino probably talking about how they can continue having that defensive pressure. Their defense is good. They're on every person. Resets are being blocked up. But Canyon just needs to figure out how they can move the disc a bit. When the disc gets moving, they can get it moving, but so far, still 0-3. While we're on this timeout, might as well talk about a little something. Joint works. Joint works helps athletes move better, recover faster, and perform at their peak. For RMT and injury care trusted by UBC and Team Canada, visit jointworks.ca. I've actually been there myself. It's pretty nice. It makes your body feel a lot better. So if you wanna head there, go for it. It's in Vancouver. Make your body feel better. Might as well. Take care of yourself. Okay. Looks like the timeout is done. Both teams have regrouped. Hopefully Canyon can get something going here. Winds are still gusty, as you can hear on the mic. At this moment, if I'm not mistaken as well, there should be some men's semifinals games, open semifinal games happening. We have, or semifinals, right? Yes, we have Dino versus Blitz and Helios versus Canyon. So later on in the day, we're going to see that final stream at 4 p.m. between those two winners, and be a lot of excitement. Back to our game. Dino coach is really talking, making sure their defense is set. If I'm to imagine, they're talking about how, yes, we're up 3-0 at the moment, but that does not mean we put the foot off the gas. You have to keep going and just make sure that the score doesn't matter to you. Every point you play, you're getting a D. Canyon on the other side, they're looking for 1. As soon as they can get 1, they'll get their momentum and they'll get going. Canyon moving the disc. Number 2 with the frisbee. Looking deep, throws it up, floating, looking for Edgel. And Edgel comes down with it. Now close to the red zone, upline to Enika, and there it is. That's what we were talking about. Canyon just needed one, and there it is. You can see there, Edgel brings it down, looking for something, wants that goal right away, and just an upline cut into the end zone, and that makes it 1-3.
It's completely up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. No, you're doing amazing right now, actually. Thank you.
Okay, now we get to see maybe a Canyon D-line. See what they can do and how well they can contain this Dino O. Canyon coach talking about something. I can only imagine they might whip out a zone here. With the winds going on, it seems like that is going to be the play. There is a wind coming towards the camera here, a bit towards the camera and to the left of the camera. So Dino will be going downwind. So we will see how that will affect this play. And Canyon now ready to pull. And a good pull upwind. Gets it down to Dino's end. Dino collects. And send it to 28. And there's the zone. Looking like a 4-person cup. Giving a lot of space inside of the cup, but Dino working it through and just breaking through it immediately. Dribbling it up the field. Nice inside shot. Now on the far side. 55. Looking for something over the top. Not there. Roll reset. And there's a call. I think there's a call on the left. It might be an injury, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Hopefully she is okay. We never like to see people get injured off of non-contact because we don't know what happened. So hopefully all is well. We should get an injury sub in, and disc should be live soon. And they're going to tap it in. Disc is live. Dino's still working through this zone. Trying to go something over the top. Does so. Even through the wind. Gets it all the way across to 87. Lamb with the disc. Gets in the middle to Bell. Bell finds a middle shot. 97 Leong. Across to Bell. 86. Back to Bell. Very wide cup here from Canyon. Giving a lot of space in the inside of the cup. And a nice tip by Canyon, but not enough. Dino moving it up to the left near side. Looking to the doorstep, and that is it. There's the goal from Dino. Clean offense, working through that zone. And that makes it 4-1 for Dino. And just being very patient with the disc, working it side to side, working it through the middle. If I'm Canyon, I would either adjust that zone a bit more, maybe tighten up the cup a bit, because you're giving that inside shot just a bit too easy at times. And for Dino, just they need to continue doing what they're doing. Not much to adjust at the moment, but just small details. Canyon's O-line looking nope, it's the same. I'm just far. Canyon trying to get another hold. Dino has been on top so far, but as we talk about in every single one of these streams, all of these games, Ultimate can change really quickly. The score does not matter. You can score 8 in a row or score none in a row. So regardless of the score, the game is always on. Yeah, 50 minutes left. Dino with the pull. And 30 with the pull. Edgel collects. Back to Edgel in the middle. Dino going to the person. Looking long, and that's a big huck. Backhand floating. Going to the right. One Kane defender underneath and just tipped away from that Dino player. And Dino gets another opportunity for a break. And 4 looking for something deep. It was open. Alex not the huck. Nice under 18. And gets it to the middle. And just behind, throws it behind a person that wasn't looking. 22 then gets it out deep. And a hand block or a strip. This discussion will happen. We'll see what they talk about. 22 probably saying it was still in my hands before you hit it. And we'll let them talk it out. And back in Dino's hands. Dino looking to the break side now. To the middle. 16. And that is another goal. Clean offense by Dino there. And just going with the flow to the open side. 5-1 Dino. And Dino has been on a roll. Kenyon has only gotten 1 hold. Dino should be with 2 holds, 3 breaks, if I'm not mistaken. So they are in a good spot at the moment. Dino still putting out the same line, wanting to make sure that they have the lead and they keep the lead. Canyon on the other side. Now need to work it up the wind. Seeing some similar faces, some different. Hopefully we get to see something different out of Canyon. And Dino getting ready for the pull now. And a big backhand pull. Wind pushes it down. Canyon with the disc. Center to Edgel. Back to the middle. Now to the near side. Gets an under on the near side. Looking for deep. Not there. Free under. Number 4. Looking for the under. Goes and a low grab. And discussion on saying if that disc was up or down. And of course, always with these calls, you got to reenact it. If you don't reenact it, then you never did it. And we're just going to send it back. Can't come to an agreement, and that's okay. Everyone has different opinions. And number 4 with the disc on the sideline. Gets an under. Canyon trying to get into an end zone set. looking for that undercut. Gets it, diving defender, and just out of the hands again on the end zone line. Dino with another chance at a break. Surveying their options. Gets it to the middle. Dino, it seems as if it's, I think it's a horizontal sack. Looked like a vert for a bit. Back to the middle. 85, 95. Under to 5. And swinging it to the middle. That's Vines. Gets it on the open side, number 4. Electing to huck. Wide open, number 14. That's Nickel. And floats it to the break side for the goal. That is Petrick with the goal. They can get 6-1 Dino. And a nice long huck to get on the end zone line and just quickly moving it to the other side. And Canyon gathering up. I'm wondering if they called another timeout. If I'm not mistaken, there's 1 timeout per half, 1 floater. So they could be using their floater. Or the line's just all going together. No timeout. Scratch that. The sun is staying out though. So the weather's getting warm. Wind's dying down a bit. It feels like summer. It's on the sidelines and the line. You can't see at the moment, but Canyon with their heads a bit down. I don't think they should be. I mean, game's not over till it's over, and I think they should keep pushing until it's over. We have Dino looking to break for half here. 6-1. One more goal would get him to half, which would be huge for them. Canyon just looking to get 1 hold at least. And a pull from Bell. And floats out of bounds. Canyon will center it up at Brick. There's an isolation in the middle. Nice under. Gets the under. Trying to get a continuation to Edgel here. Good. Looking for 1 more. Nothing's there. Gets it to 88. 88 looking for a reset. Gets the reset off behind her. And number 6 gets the disc. No one really there to help her. And there seems to be a discussion happening. Oh. And I guess not. And that's a transition that I've been talking about. Can they get there? And oh, what a nice try. What a bid. Trying to get there. Canyon getting another chance to get this hold. And a deep cut. Not going up. And gets the under to Edgel. And just a cleated foot. We're just going to make sure everyone's okay. Disc coming in at 0. Disc is in. Edgel trying to go every other. And just into the hands of Bell. Looking for that transition, not there. 95 with the disc. Back to Bell. Now on the near side, 16. Looking for that continuation. And there it is. Not in yet. Maybe? There it is. Just needed that one more pass. And Dino take half. 7-1. And with that, Canyon now needs to regroup, figure out their tweaks, and Dino just needs to continue doing what they're doing. Their defensive pressure is making turns, and their offense is working. But with that, we will come back in a bit. And we'll see you guys in a second.
We're everywhere right now. Give me 1 second, sorry. Really quickly, you see on the left side of the lens, there's a little switch. Yeah, if you click, or not, wait. Actually, you see more towards, yeah, goes up, 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 that switch. If you flick it up a bit, what happens? Any filter? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, see what happens? Okay, and then now adjust the arrow thing that I mentioned before. Or go down, down. One more. There you go. Thank you.
And we are back for the second half. Dino with the pull. Canyon getting to start on offense. Hopefully they could talk some things out, figure out their little kinks, and get a hold. Looking for the deep option to number 2. And what a nice grab. One left-handed grab. Trying to get something continuing. Good under. And 6 going deep and just a bit too far out of reach. Dino trying to get an 8th. Canyon trying to get a 2nd. Dino trying to find something in the middle. They do. To number 10. Still looking for a reset. Stall and potential stall down was there for quite some time, so could make sense. Once again, they're going to talk it out. And don't think they can come to a conclusion, so they're going to come back in. High stall count, around 8 if I'm not mistaken. Gets it off. Number 30, Vines. On the open side to 18. Right back to Vines, looking for something big. Not there. Elects to try to go for the under. And just out of the hands of Ing. Canyon gets another chance. To McNair. Looking for the reset. And just floats it up into the space. Hoping for a receiver to bring that down. And Dino moving it back up. Finds at the disc. To number 4. Looking for something big. We've seen those shots come up before. Back to Vines. And defender on her. And there's the D from Canyon that they needed. Canyon, one more chance at this hold. McNair picking up. Looking for a reset. Can't find anything. And the wind floats it up, but 6 brings it down. And looking for something big. A Blady shot and into the hands. And one more shot to the end zone. And there it is. There is the hold that Canyon needed to get another one up on the board. And let's take another look at that. Getting it off the sideline and electing to get this huck. A bit Blady, but straight into the chest. And no defender in the deep space. Floating it up. Makes it Canyon 2, Dino 7. And we get to see this Dino O-line once again. They haven't had any trouble so far. They've only been on the field 2 or 3 times, though. So let's see if Canyon can make them work. Maybe a bit of confusion there on the line. Only 6 on the line. We're looking for one more. And here comes our 6th. I will not be surprised if I see another zone look out of Canyon. Hopefully they can make some changes from last time. Dino's still going to work it downwind. Make sure they can build up on their lead that they have already. Both teams now ready. Canyon with the pull. Dino receiving. Still waiting on a hand for Dino. And up comes the pull. Nice pull. Bell collects and centers it to Bell. And there's the zony look. Dino's just going to work it side to side. Attacking the middle to Bell. Near sideline, Lamb. Straight back, 86. Looking back for Lamb. Not there. Over the top. Floating. And Bell just can't get to it. But calling a strip, uncontested. It was in her hands before the swat. Bell the disc to Bell to Bell. Should have been one more time. 86. Falk. Falk to Lamb. And a high release just didn't float enough. 14 got the D for Canyon. This is Canyon's first break opportunity, if I'm not mistaken. 80 picks up, looks for Edgel up the line. Gets the disc. One more continue, and there it is. Canyon getting something going now. There's a break, making it 3-7 for Canyon. And we can take a look at that. Just nice up the line, into space, and just a little dish to the end zone. That's another one on the board. And the Dino O-line now need to respond to that. Canyon wanting another one. There's 30 minutes left. They need to bring that intensity over and over again. That's what their zone is looking for. They're looking for the Dino offense to make these small, floaty passes and hoping they can get that D chance or just them making a mistake. As you can see in those flags in the background, the wind is strong. It is no joke. Wind doesn't make it easier. And especially in that zone, every single throw needs to be perfect. A lot of spin, a lot of snaps straight into the chest. Or else, as we saw in that last point, something floaty can be caught up by a defender. And Canyon pulling, Dino receiving. And the Canyon sideline bringing the energy. This is the energy that I feel like they needed from the get-go. But hey, nevertheless, something is better than nothing. Canyon with the pull. Bell collecting to Bell. To Bell. Canyon running that zone again. Nice over the top to the opposite side. And Leung with the disc. Looking for something. Sends it back and foul called. Seems very confident in that foul. They're going to have that discussion. That's Leung letting her know that she thinks that her hand got hit before the release. And they're going to talk it out, as usual. And if they can't come to an agreement, it's going to be contested. And disc is in. Leung with the disc, looking for a reset. Stall count should be quite high. There's Bell. Out to the middle to Falk. Back to Bell. To Bell. Was open. Decides not to. To the middle. Calls a double team. Finds an inside shot to the far side. And sends it back this way. Towards us. Near sideline. Another inside shot. And quite low, but still. They're calling it down. From my perspective, I think it was up, but as they say, sideline does not have perspective. So I am going to watch and see what they decide. And if we can't come to an agreement, we send it back. And this tapped in to the middle to Falk and just threads the needle to Leung there. And just dribbling it up the field. Right on the doorstep. Send it to Bell. And another inside shot to Bell there. Looking for this end zone here. And the Twins are just passing back and forth. And there it is. Even with that defense. Dino 8. Let's rewatch this. There's very patience here. Just passing it back and forth, making sure that the throw's there. And even with that diving defender, they still get one up. And that's 8-3 for Dino. And Dino on defense, pulling. Canyon on offense. A good defensive pressure by Canyon at that point. Made it a bit tougher. They had some opportunities. But now I need to see Canyon show us that they're able to hold. With this wind going upwind, it's going to be quite difficult. As you can hear, the wind is very strong. You my tent is blowing away. And now I don't know what's happening. This is crazy. So we have the whole team holding down the tent at this very moment because the winds are this strong. So if you don't believe me, just know the winds are strong, these throws are hard, and Canyon has the disc. Canyon on this near sideline on this for 1/3. Okay, they're just looking for the around. Nothing there. Now looking for the reset. Nice up line, gets the reset going. Nothing on the under there. Electing to go deep. Nice hug, and that will be a perfectly placed shot. And that is what Canyon needed. I asked for them to hold, and they did. And let's rewatch this. And high stall count, gets a nice deep look, and just right into the breadbasket. Canyon makes it 4.
Can you do it one more time, down? There we go. Thank you.
And apologies about that. My tent almost flew off. So we're back now. I can sit down, watch the game, talk about this, but hopefully the tent doesn't fly off this time. I had heard we're getting more weights for it, so that's going to be good. I almost flew away with the tent, holding it down, but I did not. Canyon looking for a break here. Dino going upwind. We're going to see that zone from Canyon again. Hopefully they can trap down on the chisel cuts and the crashes that Dino is working through with. We got both coaches on the field talking to the line, making sure that they know what's happening. Number 6 with the pull. And the wind has changed direction. The wind is coming directly towards the camera at the moment. And centered to Bell. There's the zone. And there's a chisel to the inside to Bell. Looking for it again, not there. It likes to go back to Falk. Nothing there. To Bell. On this close sideline. 4 Canyon defenders are invested in this cup.
High trap, yes!
Anything in the midfield should be open, but in these winds will be a very hard shot. Dino moving back a bit, but able to use that momentum and go forward again. And there's the open midfield that I was talking about. As soon as you get it moving, you can get it moving. Canyon zone needs to set up. And there it is. Easy reset to Falk. Holds it up by the fingertips. Looking for Bell. Bell on this near side. Looking for Bell. Now on the far sideline. And there it is. That's that inside shot that Canyon is looking for. They're waiting for these opportunities. And as soon as those opportunities happen, they have to make that play. Agile striking deep, coming back under. Looking for another deep strike, not there. Alex for the under. 6, middle of the field. Taking a second, making sure we're all set up. Right back to Agile. Serving the field. Clap catch under, number 80. And upline Agile, and just too far. Good opportunity from Canyon. Would have been big for another break, but now Dino with another chance to hold. A shot that just floated over every single person's hand, but still came down with Dino. Little pass in front. And close it to us. Back to Bell. Near sideline Leong. Back to Bell. And number 8. Back to Bell. Bell going every other to Lee. Travel called to Bell. Middle of the field. Fuck. To Bell. 87. And there it is. Clean offensive point right there after the turnover. And let's watch this. It was very going to one side, then going to the other side, using the whole field, not just going up the right side. These swings are so important, using the break side in both sides. Makes it easier to score. That's 9-4 for Dino. Canyon had an opportunity there for a break on the end zone line, just couldn't get it to go. Energy a bit low for Canyon here as it's nearing the later stages of this game with 20 minutes left. But Dino still foot on the metal, making sure that they're putting in all the energy that they can.
What happened to Shahab? We're like, we're everywhere. Okay, genuinely everywhere.
And Dino getting ready for the pull. Canyon trying to fight this wind on these offensive points. We saw a hold last time. We're looking for another one right now. Senator McNair, back to Kaylee. Dino with a poachy defense just for the bit. 12 with the disc. Gets it under to 80. Looking for that continuation back, but just a bit too far. Wind pushes the disc down. And Dino with another chance. To the middle of the 4. Good grab there by Dino. And 4 with looking for something big here. Up goes the disc. Looking for 19, but just gets eaten up by that Canyon defender. 2 with the frisbee. Looking for the reset. Back to the middle of 18. Back to 2. Looking for the continuation. There's Kaylee. Looking for that. Nice toes, making sure she stays in bounds. Continues on this open side. That's maybe going to be a conversation of that in or out, but we're going to call that in. Disc is in. 80's looking for something. Gets the reset to Kaylee. Break side using the full width of the field. That's good. Surveying in the middle. Looking for McNair. Gets it to McNair. Out and under. Good defense there by Dino. And pick called. And we're going to send that disc back to whenever that pick happened. And we're going to continue from there. Canyon needs to convert this one to make sure that it's only a 4-point differential. Right now it's 5. If Dino gets one more, that's going to be 6. And that's going to be tough to get to with only around 15 minutes left. McNair on this near sideline looking for something. Elects not to throw it. Under, nice grab by number 80. Still just very much so using this open side. I would love to end a foul called. We're going to take another I'm going to let them talk this out. Let's take another look at this foul. And it was just on this undercut and just goes through the side. There could have been contact on the arm. I'm not playing on the field, so I don't know what happened. So we're going to see what this decision goes to. It's going to be foul, contested, sent back to thrower. And looking for that deep huck, and once again, it's that same throw in that same spot. The wind just pushes it down. If you're having that OI on that flick, the wind's coming straight towards the camera, so it pushes the disc down. Dino with another chance at the break. 4, we're looking for something big. We've seen it every single time. Alex for the under. Nice gain of yard. 19, back to 4, middle of the field. And just Dino working it up, looking for something big, floating it up. 2 Canyon defenders. And Dino comes down with the disc. One more pass. Just knocking on the doorstep here. Nice floating one. The Vines on the far sideline, front cone. Gets a little dish. And there it is. Just needed that one little extra one. And let's take a look at this whole series of events. Dino really using their long game on this, and it is working. Dishes it to power position. Nice throw. One Dino off-ender there, but comes down with it anyways. And from there, just good old patience. Make sure you're making the right throw, right cut, and eventually you'll get it in the end zone. And just like that. Makes it 10-4 for Dino. Dino needs 3 more to call it game. Canyon needs to get something going here. We've seen them hold, we've seen them break. We just need to see a bit of consistency coming from that. Hopefully the coaches are talking about it, making those adjustments that are needed. But for now, we can only wait. Taking a look at some other scores on the men's semifinals. We have one completed game, Dino against Blitz, which is a blowout, Dino 13, Blitz 1. So we will see Dino in the finals in this next game. Edgel in the middle. Gets a reset. Gets it back. Looking for a nice floaty up line, but there's a lot of people there. And what a grab from Canyon. Number 14 comes down with that. Looking for a next pass, but can't seem to find it. Edgel, release valve. Throws it, but just that downwind. That throw just a bit too zippy. Nice bid attempt from Canyon, but unfortunately, this wind is another game. Dino trying to close it out. Bell with the disc. It's 55. Back to Bell. In their own end zone here. Wind coming towards them. If Canyon can get a D here, that will be good. Back to Bell. Can't find anything. Gets a reset in the deep corner in their own end zone here. They need to get something out. And just a high stall throw and completion. Canyon just wasn't looking. Number 3. Gets this to 14. Nickel. Looking for a floaty reset. Gets it to Bell. Bell in the middle. Going all the way to the break side. 22. Doesn't like what she sees. Back to Bell. Losing some yardage, but nice break to nickel there. And upline to Bell. And a net floaty throw from Bell, trying to find nickel there, and what a grab. Gets there in the end. What a run. And that makes it 11-4 for Dino. And we see here, it just comes from these uplines. That's the break side. And looking for something, and a nice floaty leading throw, even with the wind. They can get there. (11-4) Dino.
Can you do one more? Thank you.
And Dino just need 2 more to call this a game. Canyon looking for something. I wish I could see a bit more from them. I've seen glimpses of their holds, their breaks, as I talked about before, but I need a bit more of that for them to be able to compete with this team. Dino making sure they're not losing this pressure. When they are in the game, they're in the game. They're there to win. Paley with the pull. And a nice pull that floats. Canyon to collect. Can't get the center off. And just a turnover there. Bit rushed of a throw. Trying to get it back right away. Can't. Finds with the disc. Floats it. Nice grab there by 7. And just looking at the end zone, and there it is, the 15. Making quick work of that one. Using that transition. And it just came from that turnover. A disc into space. And no Kenyan defenders anywhere. And 12-4 to Dino. Dino's looking for one more to make this game. Potential timeout called. Or is that game? That might have been game. I apologize. I have missed a goal. I had thought I had got every single goal. I see some of the coaches are talking. And maybe I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. Coaches are discussing here, making sure the score is right. Heard some hip hip hoorays, but I will wait until this is final. And they're calling it. That's game. 13-4 is your final for the Canyon Dino Finals. Dino coming out on top, a dominant win here. 13-4. If we take a look at their past games, this one 13-4, semifinals 13-6, and the quarters were 13-2. In pool play, Dino went 13-3, and 13-1. Only ever getting conceded 6 points on, and that is the most. So Dino with a dominant Misfit Cup win. Congratulations to them. But with that, we will now start getting prepared for the Open Finals. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Jointworks, for sponsoring this event, their preferred athlete health provider of Vancouver Ultimate. But with that, this has been Misfit Cup presented by Vancouver Ultimate. Find programs for all ages and skill levels across Metro Vancouver at VUL.ca. We're going to get ready now for the Open Finals. But with that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone on the team. And we will see you guys in a few.